Hello everyone, welcome to The Beat, a news and talk program brought to you by the Center for Community Media at Worcester State University. I'm your host, Jacob Zanity. Joining us today in the studio is Allison McMillan, event organizer for March for Our Lives rally in Worcester, Mass. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I just have some questions for you. If you could just answer them to the best of your ability, that'd be great. Can you tell us about your background and how you became involved with organizing the March for Our Lives rally here in Worcester?
Well, I've always actually been very passionate about the issue of the gun violence epidemic in the United States. We are the highest gun violence in any country, and by astronomical numbers, so that's always concerned me. And when the Parkland shooting happened and the Parkland students felt that they needed to stand out, it seems like a momentous moment in our history where maybe we can finally do something to change this epidemic and maybe take back our lives. And so I thought it was very important. Worcester has had a lot of gun violence in its history, and I didn't think that we should just go to Boston. I felt that Worcester should, share in this because it's every community in every town in every city in the country. And so that's why I wanted to do it here in Worcester.
Right. I can totally see that. And like you said, Worcester, there's more than just Boston in the state, so plenty of cities and towns that need to have awareness.
And so many times there's marches or events or rallies in Boston and nothing in Worcester, and it just feels like Worcester, we're the second largest city in the state, and we should be speaking out just like Boston for issues that are passionate to us.
CNN reported that there has been one school shooting per week this year on average. Can you talk a little about the rise in school shootings and how the students at Parkland, Florida have helped set the March for Our Lives movement in motion?
Those students lived through probably the most horrific nightmare that anybody could live through, having to run and hide, having to watch classmates be murdered in front of them, having to try and get out there of the school safely without dying had to have been horrific. And I think that they're taking that action to say, this is enough, nobody should live through this, was really exponential in getting this movement going, because every time something happens, we just kind of poo-poo it. I mean, to me, we had Las Vegas. It was 6 months ago yesterday, okay? Nearly 600 people were either murdered or injured in that event. And we heard about it for a week, and we hear nothing about it. It's almost like it's day-to-day routine business. And lives of people are not day-to-day. I mean, it should never be okay to say, 600 people just got murdered or shot or whatever, and tomorrow I have to go to work. That should never happen.
Right.
And I think that the Parkland students, when they experienced the horror of what a shooting is like, came out and said, no, this should never happen again. Mm-hmm. And so I applaud them, and I think that they are amazing, considering that, it had to have been traumatic, and they are taking their trauma and using it to energize the rest of us.
Right. That's something they have to live with for the rest of their lives,
right.
And as young students.
And it has to be nightmares every day.
Right,
I mean, to see somebody blown up in front of you is not a pretty picture.
Right. Students shouldn't be having a post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right.
16, 17 years old. For anyone that was not able to attend the event, can you briefly discuss the event that took place here in Worcester for March for Our Lives?
Sure. We had an amazing group of students. We had a band from Algonquin who played. We had, and you'll see one of them right after me, Pape, who were just very energetic and enthusiastic and really made an impact on everybody who was at the event. People thought they were incredible, they thought they were articulate, and they really felt that they motivated people into doing more than just listening to that. People are motivated now to go out and do something about it.
Right. Just seems like everyone's had enough of this,
Yeah,
epidemic.
and the students were really great. They were absolutely terrific.
That's excellent. What is next for March for Our Lives?
Yeah, so March for Our Lives is actually run by everytown.org. And so for the students especially, go to everytown.org/students, and you will be told what to do. They're going to have a conference call on April 9th that anybody is welcome to attend. If you want to join the countrywide communications, they will sign you up for Slack, which is a website that allows people to communicate all over the country through email and text. And so that way, people who are doing things in one part of the country can communicate with people who are doing things in the other, and they can share their ideas. What we really want people to do is register to vote. We're talking about getting students to have voter registration tables in their schools, the high schools, colleges, because that's the most important thing that anyone can do is actually vote for people that do not support the NRA, are not funded by the NRA, and will actually vote for our agenda of better gun control in this country. The second thing is to energize, go to town halls. Right now, Congress is at recess, so going to the town halls and recruiting your congressperson to vote for common sense gun laws is crucial, and doing things like that. So students getting together in groups, collaborating all over the country is what they're really looking forward to do. And you can get all the information at everytown.org/students for that.
Excellent, awesome. So definitely have people check that out, students, younger people, and get involved with that.
Yep.
And that's
and
excellent.
Register and go out and vote.
Yep, there you go. So I just want to thank you for coming in today, Allison.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you coming in. Stay tuned as we have Poppy Pay, an MC of this event, to talk about his experience at the march. Poppy, thank you for coming today. Got some questions for you. If we can go down these and answer them to the best of your ability for the viewers, that'd be great. So, you served as an MC at the March for Our Lives rally here in Worcester. Can you tell us a little about how you became involved with the rally and ended up as an MC?
I work for a program called Youth Grow, and my boss, Grace, actually told me about this rally, and I was really interested. She told me to come to one of these meetings, and I went and felt like my voice, and not even my voice, our voice as a youth needed to be heard. So I felt like I needed to get more involved into it, and I asked to be the MC, and I became the MC.
Awesome, excellent. For you and other like-minded students, why is this movement so important right now?
This movement is actually really important because kids should not be afraid to walk into schools, walk into our school buildings, and be threatened by our lives. For our parents to be afraid that we're not going to come home after school because this type of stuff's happening in our school. So that's why I feel like this is important.
No, totally. School's for learning. You shouldn't have to go to school and be afraid
Exactly.
and feel unsafe. It should be a place of education and safety, really. There are many people that want to do more but don't think they can make a difference. What advice do you have to get more people on board with this movement and gun violence?
Advice? I want you guys to speak up, stand up, and man up. Those are the three things we have to do in this country. If we want things to change, we have to demand change. We can't just say, oh, we're going to do this and slack on it. We have to move forward. We have to just make a difference. Making a difference is just speaking up, talking to your fellow peers, telling them to vote, doing things for us to be able to change the world, not even just America, the world. Gun violence is going on in other places too. It's not just here, it's everywhere.
Right, no, I totally agree. So, well, that's all the time we have for today, and I really want to thank you, Poppy, for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching this segment of The Beat. Please remember to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. We'll see you next time.